Hey there, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining me here for another craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So we're continuing on the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt along. We're working our way through these 100 quilt blocks. We work on this the second full week of the month. So we finished the Grand's Legacy block, which was embroidered. We finished that on Monday, I believe, and then we finished this guy last night. This is the first aid block, and tonight we're starting a whole nother one, which I'm hoping to actually finish tomorrow night. So we are just kind of cranking out these blocks this week, which is awesome. I think I just counted the blocks, and I already forgot, but I think it was 38. So this will be after this one, we'll have 37 left to do. So quite a few yet, but we're getting through it. So all right, let's get going on this and see how far we get tonight. All right, I got it all laid out here already. I made a photocopy of the template pieces. So this is it's got all template pieces here. It's got these triangles. So we're gonna make these just little templates for us to trace onto fabric first. And all I'm going to do is cut these out. I have some like postcards here, Penguin and Fish postcards. I've been just using these for my templates. So I'm going to cut this out, then draw along the edge of the paper onto here, and then we'll cut them out of the postcards. And then that's what we'll use to draw on the back of the fabric, and we're just going to leave it at that. So even before I pick fabric, I think I'm going to take care of this just so it's done, and then we can choose our fabric for tonight. So I got my fabric bin here ready to go, and we'll work our way through that. So let's start here. Then it can be off the table, which will be nice. So all right. Hope everyone had a nice Thursday. I just kept thinking it was Friday over and over again, and I had to keep reminding myself that it was Thursday. Actually, it felt more like Saturday. It's just beautiful here today, and people are outside hanging out. It's just like an outside summery day today. And then I'm like, whoa, it's only Thursday. All right, so I'm cutting out the edges, so this has the seam allowance, and I'm not going to worry about this inside line. I'm going to just trust that this is just the exact size we need it to be. Okay, so this has the quarter seam allowance. It says that right there. The petal, however, does not. So I think we're going to go... I'm still going to machine stitch the petals on, I think, just because I do want to get this done. It mentions needle turn applique, which is doing it by hand. I think we're going to do that method, though, where we don't do raw edge applique. We still turn it right side out. So I think we're going to cut... like the back, we're going to cut like a front and back piece that we turn right side out for these. I think that's how we're going to tackle this applique. I think that'll be kind of fun, and then we don't have to deal with any fusible interfacing or anything like that. We can just do it with what we got here. I also had a kind of thought on the background colors, or the colors for this one. I know there's some fun, bright colors for these figure eights, but I'm trying not to add a bunch of color to the quilt. I'm trying to actively keep it light and a little void of color, because that was kind of the whole test of this quilt for myself. Like, can I just do a quilt that's just these pale yellows and pale tans and white, with white in every single block? And it's been tough because I just want to keep adding color, and I think it'd be fun with a lot of color, but overall, like, the whole piece I think is looking pretty with just the limited palette. So my thought was what if instead of these being colors, I thought maybe it could be all white. So these could be white, and which would make them pop a lot off of the page, and then these background pieces could be all I wouldn't use white in the background at all. Typically I've been using white somewhere in the background, but I thought, ooh, this time what if those pieces were actually white? And I have enough fabric of the white that I could use it as the back fabric too, the like waist fabric that I can turn right side out. I'm kind of thinking that would be fun. Oh yeah, and Linda's saying, do I have a scrap bag? I might be okay for these smaller pieces. I had a scrap bag started in here, but that went to the wayside pretty quickly and I just started tossing it in there. So I do have the scraps. So yeah, I think we can do some digging through there to get what we need. That'd be awesome. It's a good idea. All right, so I'm just gonna cut. I'm not even cutting right now. I'm going to. Ooh, I'll just put this right on the edge here. That'll be easy. I am making these into stronger templates, I guess. I wouldn't really need to. I could just trace what I got here, but it is a little bit easier to do, to have it. Ooh, I'm not sure there's anything in this pencil. It's much easier to have it on the stiffer board. Let's just use this pen. So it'll be easier to transfer. A little extra step, but oh well. Okay. Ooh, my rulers are going to be coming in the mail tomorrow, I think. So maybe if they come by the show tomorrow night, I'll share. Actually, I think one of them is coming later, but two of them will be coming tomorrow, I believe. So I'll have a little show and tell of those. If not, I'll show you on Monday. All right, I'm trying to avoid, as much cutting as I can, so I'm putting these on the long edges on the line here. I think that'll be helpful. But yeah, this is just going to be easier to trace with these stiff templates. Theoretically, if you're making a ton of these blocks, you would definitely want templates. Oh, I should write which way is up, shouldn't I? Okay, so this is A. So I'm writing them in the same direction that they are on here. I don't think that's going to actually matter much, but I think this little snip at the bottom will be my telling factor, but let's just do it anyway. And the pedal, I don't think I need to do it for. So, all right, we fit it all on one. That's great. I wasn't sure we'd be able to do that. So I actually don't need these anymore because I'm gonna use these instead now. So let's trim these out, and I'm cutting towards the inside of that line, just so we're a little more accurate, I think, because we had, I drew them on the outside, so outside of the edge, so now I'm going to cut on the inside of the edge. There we go. Save this for another day. These postcards definitely come in handy for this, though. And you could use a ruler and stuff with these, but meh. I think we'll be perfectly fine. Okay. Where the heck did my other piece go? Oh, I threw this away already. Like, I'm missing a piece. Here it is. Just gonna snip all that off. Whoop. Oh yeah, Lynn, I'm on both. I'm on Facebook and YouTube tonight. Both places. If you were early, maybe it just didn't pop up yet. I don't know. Okay, so this is the same on either side, so it doesn't really matter which direction I go. But this one, oh, little scissors on that side. So this one, I'll have to do one this way and then a reverse one as well. So obviously, that's going to be the reverse one. So, okay, we have our 3 pieces here. So now we can dig through the fabric. Okay, so I think I am going to go with white for these. It'll be a little bit different. I wasn't originally expecting that. Oh, Lynn found you on Facebook now. I see ya. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm going to use white for those pieces, and I'm actually going to cut out, let's see, I'm just going to trace, I'm going to trace 4 of them, but then I'm actually going to sew those onto other ones as well. Yeah, so we're going to do it that way. I'm going to see if I can still find a pencil here. Here we go. That's I suppose we'll keep using this. So this is one of those friction pens. So this will go away when I press it. You know, it's not tested for how archival it is, and it's actually putting ink into the fabric. It just kind of becomes unseen until you get it cool again. But I'm just going to use it for the edge. So theoretically, it'll kind of be sewn into the quilt or cut off. So I'm not going to be too concerned about it, and it's what I got for a tool right now. All right, so let's pick some fabric. So we need 2 light colored fabrics and 2 dark colored fabrics for this, and then the white will be our little figure 8s. I think that'll work. Doing something a bit different than I was expecting for this, because I do want to stick with my, I'm going to get a little higher here. I do want to stick with my pale colored pieces. Okay, so we already know the white. So 2 lights and 2 kind of darker ones. So I don't know, I'm just pulling stuff out. Oh, let's well, we kind of need some bigger pieces. Oh yeah, these are all really small, my scraps. I think we're gonna just, I mean, it would make sense doing this one piece with scraps, but for all these background pieces, there's kind of a lot of weird cutting, so I think I'm gonna just stick with grabbing fabric here. So this, I would consider this maybe a dark. I mean, this one, can I even fit enough on here? I think I need, no, I can't. I need enough for 1 of these and 2 of these for each. So that's, yeah. Yep, 1 of these and 2 of these for each. So that's not going to work, this piece. So I'm just going to pull out some larger pieces. This is kind of pretty. That's definitely large enough. Okay, I could consider these 2 darks, but then let's like get lighter. I suppose it doesn't matter all that much, because the white is going to pop off on all of these. That's the neat part. So, you know, I'll be using the white fabric for the rest of it. So that's going to pop off no matter what. So this is kind of fun, though. So I like these, even though they're not necessarily like 2 lights and 2 darks. They're kind of close enough. Could use this guy again. I don't think there's enough fabric there. We're getting to that point that we're running low on stuff, though. Should we just do these circles? That's a nice light. We could consider these are lights and these are darks. I'm going to go with that. Oh, here's a whole pile more of this fabric, but I think I'm still going to go with this. So what's nice about that I pre-picked all the fabrics for this quilt, like I'm only working with the fabrics in this bin, right? And I pre-picked them all from the beginning. What's nice about that is, you know, whatever you grab is going to be fine. You don't have to, like, make big color decisions with every single block. So I'm trusting the process that we have what we need here already. Okay, make a plastic template. We made postcard templates. Trace the A template onto each one on the wrong side. And then trace one B and one reverse B onto the wrong side of each. Okay, so wrong sides we're dealing with now. Let's just go one at a time here. So let's put the wrong side down. I think I'm going to get this guy out, and you know what? I wonder if we should just be pressing these right away too. I think so. Let's press beforehand because these are all, they're stuffed in that little bin and they're kind of wrinkly there, aren't they? Okay, and then these white we'll use these little scraps for. I'm excited about just doing this white. I think it's going to be kind of pretty. Oh, your 10-year-old niece spent 4 days with you and you're exhausted. Oh. Oh, I bet. So this isn't quite hot yet, but this piece is probably flat enough. We'll go in this flatter area up there while the iron heats up for the other ones. Okay. So I'm going to draw with the friction pen, so I can't use the iron until these are cut out with these, because the lines will go away. We could almost just draw like one line here, couldn't we? And then just cut right down it. I think we're going to do that. Yeah, we're for sure going to do that. So, all right, let's have this A piece be like our master line. The less we have to cut, the better. Yeah, I mean, we might not actually get done with this tomorrow because there's a lot of like piece prep today, isn't there? Okay, so let's get one going one way. Because we got to do this on all 4 pieces. Then cut them all out. All right, and then the reverse. Yeah. This is good. We'll do this for all of them. And actually, ooh, I have an idea. Okay, I am going to stack them all and cut this out with a rotary cutter. Heh. Then I only have to draw it on one, which I'm doing right now. And I can cut through all of them at the same time. Okay, now we're getting smart here. There we go. Take that. We're going to get on this speedy then for sure. So I'm going to press the rest of the pieces, and then we'll cut through that. Gina, I did not decide to do needle turn applique. However, I am also not doing the raw edge. I'm going to do where we sew 2 pieces together and turn it right side out. So in theory, I could needle, like sew it by hand at that point. We'll see where we're at tomorrow. I'll still have the option tomorrow to do either or. So if we're really far behind, like if we don't even get to that point, then I'll just still not decide. And then when we work on this again, if we're feeling like, man, I just really want to do some hand stitching, if that's the case, then we'll hand stitch them on. If not, we'll just sew them on quick. So we'll see where we're at tomorrow, but we'll have the option for either. So all in all, I'm basically not doing the raw edge applique with the fusible web. I'm not doing it that route. And we're getting smart on the cutting here. I'm pretty excited that I thought about that early. Usually that's something that we think about after I've cut like 6 things already. All right. There we go. Let's stack all of these up. Like I said, we're going to chop through all of them at once. Okay, let's get this one first. So I'm going to put them all wrong side up. Where did we even press here? We must have right there. Okay. This guy will go like so. I just ironed you, but where? Guess kind of right in there. Okay, and then this one with our little drawing on. I mean, this is going to be weird and choppy. Like, we're going to have extra, but whatever. Let's see if it goes all the way there. Yep, we're good. All right, so I'm going to get the ruler out. Maybe I'll just get my little 6-inch ruler, and I'm going to just cut along my lines here. I'm not going to use like a second ruler or anything. I'm not going to like use the mat or anything. I'm just going to go right on the lines. I think this was a swell idea. All right. I mean, all this fabric is all kind of chopped up weird and goofy anyway, so this is not a big stretch to have like these weird edges on here. Okay, now this one I did sort of align. I don't think those bottom edges align in the same way, but these ones do. Now, if I had the big rotating mat, this would be perfect. But my little rotating mat, I don't think is quite right for this. I suppose I can cut straight across there almost. Okay, I think about like so. I think this is straight enough across. Theoretically, they should all be the same, right? Let's just go straight across. And I'll get rid of all this excess fabric, and then we'll do the rest. It's not really feeling straight across. I suppose we'll do it in little sections. But it should be straight across. All right, I'm just going. Get it? Yeah. Okay, enough of all this fabric. That was quick. All right, now let's get these last little cuts. I'm all sorts of smart today. I think we have a good chance of finishing this tomorrow now. All right, and I'm just going to slide these away, and we'll just get those little tick marks here, and then that's it. Okay, and this one. All right, I think we got it. This is great. Okay, so let's lay this out. And because we have to deal with this first. So I think we could actually, let's go ahead and sew these. Let's do this part of the deal, and then we'll worry about the figure eights later. Let's do that. Okay, so let's see. Arrange and sew the pieced units Okay, wait. Sew a matching pair of B and A reverse triangles to each A triangle to make 4 units. Okay. I think the lights go with the darks and the darks go with the lights. Let's just lay them all out here. So those are like a dark and a dark and a light and a light, theoretically. And then it looks, I'm just looking at the picture, it looks like we go crosswise with them. So this pink color goes here. And this color, is that right? No, we needed a dark and a light. Well, whatever. Let's just keep going like this and see how it ends up. Oh yeah, they are the same. The same ones go next to each other. There we go. Like that and that. And this one gets these. Gretchen says, I love this block. That's nice. Okay, and this and this. So that seems like it's set up. So they have one color here, and it repeats there, and then this repeats there. That repeats there, and that repeats there. So the only thing we could do differently is have like one of these lights go with the darks. I don't know, it's kind of fun like this though. I kind of like that it's this patterned little area and then these like color blob areas. It's kind of fun. So, and then we'll have the white on top. So this is our template that just happens to be white. So that white's gonna super duper pop off of the top of these. So I like this idea still with the white as our figure eights, like doing all 4 white, not doing the different colors. Okay, so we have to sew these together. Now we are at that goofy angle, but so I gotta think about this. I think we have to line this edge at the bottom. There's always something weird when you do angles. Yeah, see, that's not going to work. I need to get it so that do we just align those flat sides there? We have to do it so when we sew it, so that 1/4 inch seam allowance, it ends up where it needs to be there. So this will end up there, and this will end up there. Yeah, I think that's right. So we're going to align these shorty edges to each other there. So that's what we line up. Great. You know what? I think I'm going to do all of one side of these because we need to press them. So we'll do all of one side, then press them, and then do all of the other side. So let's just rotate these two so they're all facing the same direction while we work on them. Then we can take like the same side of each, and I can just grab. So let's line those top edges up and these top edges. Yeah, we'll tweak that when I'm at the sewing machine. But this will just help me remember what I'm actually sewing. All right, we're going to sew these pieces first, press, and then we'll sew these other ones on, press, and then we can actually sew this whole background together. Dang, we're going to get far on this tonight, actually. I'm very happy with this. Okay. Am I just like, I'm impressing myself tonight. Ah, goodness. I guess it's rare that I have days like that where I like think of all the good ideas right away, how to speed things up, so it's making me happy. Okay, there's our first one. Oh, we do have to kind of remember where these go, but we have the opposing one, so that shouldn't be that hard, actually. Worrying about something I don't need to. Just using the stiletto to kind of pin down the back parts. Okay. And 4. Great, and let's get a leader, and we can take this off and press right away. I feel like that whole idea of cutting through all of them at once, I feel like that's always a suggestion when I work on this, but it's always suggested after I'm like into cutting them all already, and then I'm like, oh, that was a good idea. This time I actually thought of it beforehand, so that's exciting. All right, let's trim these, and these all get pressed. The seam allowances get pressed towards the outside piece, so towards the B piece. All right, so that means I'm going to hold it on top, have the B piece on top. We fold it that way. Ugh, looks fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Ugh, loving it. Okay. 1, 2. Dang, this is gonna go. This is a fast block, I think, ultimately. Oh, nice, Nolene. Got the stitching hedgie, the stitch the day away stitching sampler started. That's nice. Yeah, we'll be stitching that not next week, but the week after. So next week is the embroidery of the month. We'll be stitching. Oh, that'll be fun. Excited for that. This turned out great. All right, here's our 4 pieces. Let's, they are all stuck to this. There we are. Okay, so these should all be in the same spot that they need to be. There. Okay, so that one's next. There. There. And there. Okay, so now I'm still going to line that top edge. Should I start sewing down here? Yeah, I guess I'll start sewing this way. Or I could go like this too. I think I'll probably go like this. That feels better. Feels better to start at the fold there, but I'll have to flip them all around. That's fine. That'll work too. All right, so we'll press these, or sew these, press, and then we can sew the 4 of them together. And still have time to do these templates probably for the, get the pieces started with the white. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna flip it this way. Just so I can start at this edge here. Just can't see the piece as well. All right, 1. I love when these blocks that look like they might be a little bit more involved or difficult end up being super duper easy. That's always a lot of fun. Feels like a little magic trick. All right, last one. Great. All right, let's get a leader in here. There we are. I'm really happy we're just cruising through these blocks this week. Okay, that must mean we went from like 40 blocks to, we'll get to 37 left. Nice. Okay, let's press these fellers, and then we got all our pieces. So these also get pressed towards the B pieces. Oh, we'll have to figure out the order of them again. That's fine. It's fun how all these angles come together. I think they have all sorts of specialty rulers to get this particular setup with this particular triangle with the two other triangles next to it. Some maybe got a hair wonky, but all in all, I think they turned out pretty nice. Okay. Done. Let's get this together. Okay, so something like so. Okay, wait. The arrows that point downward. Well, towards each other, like a figure eight. Duh. Okay. So how about like that? That looks pretty decent, right? It might not be exactly what we had before, but maybe it was. I don't know. All right, so let's we'll sew each row together, like that to there, and this to here, and then straight down the middle here, and we'll have some seams to match up at that point. So we'll take a look at that. But so far, not anything too scary. All right, so I do want these seams to be kind of lined up, but they should inherently kind of line themselves up. So I'm not too worried about them. I suppose at this point we maybe should have trimmed. Matching being to make 4 units that measure to 3.5-inch squares. Okay, before I get too far into this, sometimes these are made a little bit bigger and need to be trimmed down. I don't think I'll need to, but now I'm paranoid. Okay, 3.5. We're totally fine. Good. Back at it. So I can still start at the top. All right, get another leader. Scissors. All right, more pressing. Oops, jeez. Okay, so one gets pressed one direction and one the opposite direction. So if I put them both upright, since I'm going to be flipping one around, then they'll end up being in opposite directions. So this block, unlike last night's block, we are pressing in opposite directions. We're not pressing our seams open. So that's going to help us nest our seams together, which is going to give us some hopefully very nicely aligned seams. So we'll see how that goes. But that's looking awfully pretty. There we are. So let's, one of these needs to be rotated. I think it was, I don't remember what order. Oh, they gotta be figure eights though. Let's go like so. Fun! Okay, so now we have a few seams that we need to match, and I think I'll probably get the, get a clip out for this to hold in place. And, you know, we could do the pin method to line up these points. I don't think that's a bad idea, so I'm going to get a pin out as well, a nice straight pin. So I'll show you that method. It's usually like a paper piecing method that we use. So I'm going to actually need 3 clips. Let's get the little ones so they don't get in our way. We use it in foundation paper piecing, but this is the same idea. We want to line, like this point here needs to end up at this point here. There's this big gap here now because of the seam allowances, but we really want those like points just to touch perfectly. So, all right, first let's deal with that center. I think that's easy enough. Let's just nest those seams. So the seam allowances are going in opposite directions. So we should just, where the fold is, bump those folds next to each other, and that'll do. That's what's going to give us that nice line that just looks like it's going straight vertical without a little stair step in it. All right, so I'm going to put a clip there. Okay, so now this is the part that I want to line up where this seam crosses with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a needle, and what's nice is I can see that seam. So I'm going to go right through where that connects, that point. And let's just check to see what it looks like. Yep, so right at that point. And then I'm going to put it in the point on this side straight through. And now, like if my needle's like this, then that's going to shift this top piece over a little bit and they won't be aligned. So I want this needle nice and straight. I want it straight this way, and I want it straight this way. And if it's straight in all the directions, then theoretically we will sew through it and those 2 points will end up. And you can see it's kind of adjusting this top fabric because my edge isn't very straight, but my point should be straight. So I'm going to put my clip right there. And when I sew, I just got to sew right through that point and we should be good. So that was good because this, I probably would have aligned it differently because the fabric's all kind of weird here. So let's do the same thing on this side. This is when we want to get real picky, is when we do this, and hopefully it works. We'll see. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it's kind of eh. All right, so I'm going to go that point there. Now I just kind of move this till it's lined up both ways, and then we just grab a clip, get it in there. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, that's the pin method. Let's see how we do. Now I'm just going to sew my 1/4 inch, and that should be that. My line's super wonky, but it'll be fine. There's plenty of seam allowance that we're not going to have trouble. All right, so I'm going to remove this, but I'm going to get my stiletto there right away to just kind of hold the pieces there, and I'm going to aim for right where those cross, which should be right at the 1/4 inch seam allowance anyway. All right, so I should have gone through both of those lines, or both of those points. All right, now we're approaching our middle seam that we've nested together, so that should still be theoretically nested just fine. That's going to get us our nice line down the middle. And now our second little point. Okay, stiletto there. Great. And all the way to the end. You can see it was a little wobbly there, but that's because the edge wasn't all that straight. But I think the points will be good. Let's peek. I want to peek right here already. All right, let's check the middle first. Ah, perfect. So that, here, let's look over here. There we go. So this line is perfectly in line, so it doesn't go like joop, joop, joop. It's just perfectly straight down. That is exactly what we want. That came from nesting the seams together. And then let's check out these points. All right, here's our first one. Pretty close. Close, definitely enough. I mean, remember we're putting this guy on top of it yet too, so if you are off, you'll be able to cover it up really easily. What about this side? Oh, dang, now that side looks pretty dang perfect. I would say those points are right touching, and they're not getting like, we're not like losing a point. We're not like clipping them off. This is perfect. Okay, let's press, and we got ourselves a front here. Gosh, yeah, I think we have enough time to prep our next pieces. That's great. All right, press downward. I suppose it really doesn't matter at this point. I actually think we could press this open at this point. Kind of, I think I'm going to. Then the thickness can be on either side. I think we'll do that. Or on both sides, not either side. I don't think there's a reason for it to be on one side. Oop, let's get that back. All right, I'm gonna flip it around and we'll press it nice from the front. Just making sure the seams are all flat. Ugh, it looks great. I love how subtle it is. Okay, I'm really liking these colors for this one. And yeah, it's looking good. And then the white, I think, is still gonna pop really nice off of it. I like that it's like mountains, and these almost look like little stars. Okay, so this guy will go there. Yeah, this white is gonna like super duper pop. Okay, great. Let's set that aside. Let's get this white part done. I'm gonna actually get this guy out again. So I'm gonna trace this on the white. Let's press the white though first. We didn't do that. Okay, so I'm gonna need enough for. Oh, I need to add seam allowance too. So I need enough for seam allowance. So we'll use this scrap, but I'm definitely gonna need. Maybe we'll just use this big scrap. I wonder if can I fold this and get all the pieces I need? That'd be even better because I'm gonna actually sew it to itself. Like I'm gonna sew one piece to another piece. So if I could just have them all here, that'd be great. I'm actually gonna even press it together like this. This must have been, I mean, we got the same weird shape, so we must have done this before once. With this for some other block. So I need to be able to get 4, and I still have that other little piece, so let's press that too. Just in case I need an extra. But I need to get 4, really 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4 on here with a seam allowance. So this doesn't actually have a seam allowance in it, so what my plan is I want to draw, now here's where I think I might switch to a pencil, just because I'm a little nervous about this coming back in the cold along the seam. So I'm gonna actually trace this, leaving a little bit of a seam allowance, but I'm actually going to sew directly on my pencil line here. I might actually just leave all this together while I do that. So let's do that. So I do need to leave enough seam allowance for each side too, right? So I need to leave like at least 1/2 of an inch in between my shapes so they each get their own 1/4 inch. We go there. Oh, I think we can easily get 4 out of here. Let's just kind of crawl up this edge here. There, I think that's fine. Maybe we can just go like so. Yeah, plenty. Oop. Moved a little. Okay, one more. This worked super duper well. All right, so let's just sew, I suppose. We're kind of getting to be time. Maybe I'm trying to think, should I sew all these while they're all together? I think that might actually be kind of annoying. So I think I'm going to throw a pin in each of these and then maybe cut them out. So I'm going to put a pin in the middle of all of these, and then I'm going to just take my scissors and really roughly cut them out, just because I think it's going to be annoying to sew with them all connected still. Or it might be super easy to do that. You know what? Let's just put some pins in, and I'm not going to cut it apart. Let's just put some pins in, and I'll sew with them all together. We'll put a pin there, a pin kind of over here. Oh, gosh, I think that's plenty. Let's sew some of these. We still have time. So, all right, I'm going all the way around the edge of this. If you were doing this with, if you were doing this technique with patterned fabric, you would have been putting right sides together at this point. So I'm going to sew all the way around this edge, and then later we will cut a slit out of here and then turn it right side out. So that's the plan. So I'm going to just literally be sewing all the way around every single one of these shapes. And I think to do that, we're going to get rid of you. There we are. Yeah, I'm going to just start. I think I won't start right on the edge. We'll start here. All right, and I'm going to do a little back tack. Okay, and then we are going to go around that edge. And I might have to go slow around these curves and like lift up the presser foot a little. So this will be slow going, but still really easy. We're just sewing on the line. And it kind of has a little pivot on the top here. I think that'll kind of go away once we turn these right side out. But I'm going to use it to pivot. There we are. Back down this way. One too many there. That's why a machine with a needle down position is nice. That's like my mom had that on her machine. I think I showed you guys that when I was using her machine. It always, no matter what, I mean, there's a button you have to press to tell it to do this, but like it will always end up with the needle down. So when I'm doing it, I'm just hoping for the best that it lands in the down position. There, like that. Just squeaking it ahead a few steps. And, alright. So here's our first one. I totally think this is going to work. And then I think ultimately I'm going to cut these all out with the pinking shears, because that will be like us cutting notches out of it, out of the curve. to reduce the bulk. But there we are. So we have one. See, I only had to draw it on one side because, you know, I didn't have to on that side. It's all together already. Right, I don't think we need this pin. Well, so one more, and then we'll do the other ones tomorrow. So tomorrow we're totally going to finish this tomorrow. So we'll sew the other two. Then we got to turn them right side out. That'll be a little bit of a deal. That'll be, take some time to do that and press them really nicely. We'll do our best for that. And then we will stitch them to the piece here. And I think our background piece, and I think we'll just do that with the machine. We'll get real close to the edge. This is where if you have like decorative stitches, it's nice to give it a little zigzag edge or a decorative edge, or a blanket stitch edge. We got the straight stitch. So all of mine are just getting a little straight stitched edge. We could also hand stitch them on and it would look 100% like needle turn applique. It would look as if we just took forever, like it's thousands of hours and needle turn to applique it, but we're like kind of pre-turning it by doing it this way. So I'm erring on the side of let's just get these done because I'm really liking how far we're getting on these this week. But if we're really feeling it, we could do needle turn applique still. Or fake, I guess, like pre-turned needle turn applique. All right. Let's snip there, and I think we'll call it like that for the night here. So we'll be doing, I don't think I need any of these pins anymore. These are staying together just fine. So what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm going to take my pinking shears and we will cut all these out on, like the seam allowance width area. So they'll all have like the nice zigzaggy edges, and that helps when you turn it right side out. It won't have all the bulk not having a space to go. It'll, like the little Z's or the little V's that we're cutting out of there will kind of come together when it's flipped the other way, so that it'll reduce bulk using that pinking shears, so we don't have to like snip them ourselves. Anyway, so we'll do that, and then we'll cut a slit in just one side, flip it right side out, press them, and then they'll be ready to place on our piece here. All right, so I think we got a plan. I'm much farther than I thought I'd be tonight, so I'm feeling good. All right, you guys. Yeah, this is just cruise along. I mean, I'd be happy if just this was the block. This is looking really pretty, I think. But it'll look really kind of nice with the white on there as well. Like, man, that's really popping with the template piece there. I think it will with the white fabric too. So fun. This will be like 3 blocks in a week, which is great. I can't really do much better than that with the Splendid Sampler project here. So awesome. Thanks again for watching tonight, everyone. I hope you're all ready to go for the feeling good, that sunshine embroidery that will be starting in a few days here. And the PDF is still available for that too if you wanted to join in on that. And I will see you guys tomorrow and we'll finish this up. Have a great evening. Good night.